Welcome back, Better Agents. Nicholas Ayers coming to you live from Better Agency HQ. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about why it is that your Facebook and Google ads are failing. Now, of course, I don't want to just be the guy that tells you all the things that are wrong. I want to help you solve the problem. So we're going to talk about why they're failing, but we're also going to talk about how you can fix them. Now, before we get into the video, make sure you pick up your tickets to the Agency Success Conference April 20th, 21st, and 22nd here in beautiful downtown Phoenix at the Downtown Sheraton Resort. This conference is open to all agency owners, producers, staff, anybody in your agency that's going to help you have more agency success. You can find the link to the conference information down in the description below, or you can visit www.agencysuccessconference.com. We're going to have 600 attendees. We're going to have 28 dynamic speakers, including Damon John, Tiago Prado, Erica Dewan, Chris Paradiso, David Carruthers, Brandon Smith, Graham Baba, all of your favorites, plus a lot of speakers that you've never heard of. So make sure you get your tickets down below. Bring anybody that you can, and we'll see you in Phoenix. I know that there's no such thing as a concrete, universally true statement for everyone. However, if there ever was such a thing, it might be this: that every independent insurance agency owner needs to be spending money on paid Facebook ads and Google ads if they want to grow their business. Now, I will naturally run into people whenever I say something like that, and they'll say something like, I've been in business for 30 plus years and I've never ran a Facebook ad and I'm successful. My response to those people is typically always the same. You are successful today because of things that you did that made you successful 10, 15, 20, 30 years ago. However, if you had to start today from scratch with nothing and you relied solely on the strategies and the techniques, tactics that you did 30 years ago to get you to the point of success today, you likely wouldn't have that level of success. Everybody just loves referrals, and everybody just loves being the person in your community that everybody knows does insurance extremely well. However, you have to get to a point where you have that sort of local status or authority. And the best way to do that is with Facebook advertising or with your Google advertising, or really any platform in general. But we're going to focus on Facebook and Google today because that's where a lot of people need to be spending the majority of their time. So where is it that most people get things wrong? The first thing is always the mindset. It's always the attitude. Before we get into tactics and the granular things that you need to do, you need to have the right mindset. I'll talk to a lot of agency owners and they'll say something like they've been advertising for 3 months and they got nothing, or they have $500 a month to spend on Facebook, YouTube, Google, TikTok, LinkedIn, all this stuff, and they're wondering why they don't get the results that they're looking for. It really starts with your mindset. And a lot of times this goes beyond the simple principle of economics. A lot of people just don't want to stay patient with things. They don't want to dedicate any budget to anything. They don't want to say, this is what it's going to cost to get a customer. Number one, they don't always know what it costs to get a customer. So they think that if they spend $50 a day, they should get XYZ leads, which should turn into XYZ customers. And that's a wrong mindset. You need to change how you think. You need to change what it is that you think about and how you measure results. And you have to be patient. You have to be consistent. This is something that you got to spend a lot of time and energy on. Do you ever think that Geico or Progressive is advertising for 3 months or 3 weeks and then saying, oh, that didn't work, let's throw it away? No, they're always advertising. They're always spending money on ads. It's a mindset. They're willing to do it. Now, your metrics and your economics are obviously very different than Geico and Progressive. However, it's a mindset. It's something that says, I'm going to keep doing this consistently. I'm going to dedicate 6 months minimum and not even look at stuff. I'm simply going to dedicate it because I know I have to advertise. I have to be where people are at. I have to go where the eyeballs are. And like it or not, people's eyeballs are always glued to their cell phones or to their computer screen, and they're on these social platforms. You have to be there too. Now, to get into the little more granular tactical things that you need to be doing to make sure your ads are working and they're not failing, is you need to think about the experience. Not enough thought goes into the overall experience from ad to lead to customer. You need to think about this. You need to think about your ad creative. You need to think about the landing page that they're going to, the words that you say. If you're still thinking about marketing and building your lead generation based on getting names, emails, and phone numbers and thinking that's going to qualify and that's going to be a good lead, that's not how you need to think about it. You need to think about how to deliver great value, great entertainment, great education, all of the above to your target audience. You need to think about the overall experience. Your customers, when they're on these platforms, they're thinking about one thing psychologically. They're thinking about, what's in this for me? I'm not just going to give you my email. If I do, I'm giving you a fake email. I'm giving you a fake phone number. I want to know, as a customer, what the experience is. What do I have to gain from this? That's how you need to think about it. You need to think about your customer experience. You need to think about the overall experience from ad creative, whether you are trying trying to entertain somebody, educate, bring awareness. You should be using things like jargon or insurance ease or things that you know about or that you think they care about, when in fact, they don't care about those things. Your ads are tanking, they're failing because you spend too much time talking like an insurance agent and not talking like somebody who actually cares about your audience, your customers. Now, let me just clarify, not you watching, I'm talking about the other people that are advertising. You care about people. I don't want that to get lost in the mix. I want you to change how you think about the overall experience though, and make sure that people who are engaging with this, it's compelling, it's interesting, they like it, they find value in it. Value is subjective. It can be anything, but they enjoy what it is that they're seeing. They're not just thinking you're spamming them. It's not just get a quote, get a quote, get a quote, get a quote. It's something that is actually valuable to the audience, to the people who are engaging with it. You need to think about that overall experience. Now, I don't want to spend too much time on the negative stuff. I like to think about solutions. I'm very solution oriented. I want to think about how do we fix these problems? How do we call out knowing what they are and how to fix it. The first thing I've already kind of mentioned a little bit, you need to dedicate budget to this. You need to dedicate some money to making this work. $5 a day, $50 a day, that's not enough. You have to be seriously committed to this. Insurance is the most competitive keyword on all of the internet for advertising. You're playing the big boy game. You're playing the game where you gotta pull up your britches and you gotta go to work. So you have to dedicate a budget to this. You have to dedicate time and effort to this. If you think you're just gonna put out an ad and then the line out the door is just gonna be everybody just wants to throw money at you, they just wanna make it rain, that's not realistic. Again, it goes back to a mindset shift that you need to have. You need to dedicate real funds to this. I would encourage you to dedicate at least $2,500 to $3,500. If you can do more, do more, and make a plan that says, I'm gonna spend this money every single day, every single month. I'm gonna do it because it's important and I'm gonna make sure that I'm getting results, but it's gonna take time. It's not gonna happen overnight. You're selling a product that people don't always wanna buy right off the bat, so it takes some level of consistency and budget. You need to also be making content that helps the cause. If you think that your only strategy online is to just push out ads, and that you're gonna get a lot of results, that's gonna be a heavy lift. The best thing that you can do is to generate your own content, whether it's video, whether it's written, whether it's photos, whether it's stuff that you put on Facebook, whether it's stuff that you put on other channels. You want to build your content library because overall, that's going to help the cause. People are going to go want to search the people that you want. They're going to warm themselves up. You need to be showing up in the marketplace consistently. If all people ever see from you is the ad and nothing else of value, that is problematic. In fact, I made a video, you can find it down in the description below, where I talk about a content strategy. After you watch this video, go watch that next video. It's gonna help you think about how to make a content strategy that's compelling, that's interesting, that people want to engage with, so that when they see your ads, they see you on their Facebook wall, or they see you on Google, or wherever they might see you. It builds reputation, it builds brand, it builds authority, and these are the real reasons why people buy from anybody. The third thing that I would encourage you to do is to hire a professional. I know there's a lot of courses out there, there's a lot of places that will teach insurance agents how to make ads. The platforms change so fast and they become so much more complex than they were just a couple of years ago. My strong encouragement to you is to not make this your full-time job, because that's what it's gonna be in order to do this well. My encouragement to you is to simply hire a professional. Again, it goes back to mindset, it goes back to budget, it goes back to doing things right. You can learn on your own, but essentially you're going to school, you're paying for your education with every failure that you have along the way. So the best thing that you can do is to hire somebody who knows what they're doing. Hire professionals. There are lots of different management companies and advertising agencies. There are some that advertise specifically to insurance agents. If you comment down below, you want to know who those are, I'm happy to have a conversation with you and point you into some different directions, but you should hire people who know what they're doing. You doing it on your own, you trying to figure out, is no different than your customers trying to go online and figure out insurance and buy insurance directly online. You don't want that. You would advise against that. You want people to hire you because you're the professional. You know what you're doing. You have the advice. You know where to direct people. You know how to steer people. You know how to consult. You know how to build something that's unique and special to that individual. It's no different in your marketing. It's no different in any other department that you want to hire for, especially your marketing. But make sure you hire real professionals. When you hire a real professional, my advice to you would be to work with them hand in hand and to figure out what the real solutions are. Too many times, again, going back to what is failing for a lot of people in their marketing, is they're too busy selling their drill and not enough time selling the whole, selling the results, selling what the drill can do. You need to be figuring out what it is that your value proposition is, and then that is how you need to work with your marketing agency or your marketer to build content, to build ads that sell the result. You need to sell results. If all it is get a quote, get a quote, get a quote, get a quote, that is not interesting, it's not compelling, nobody cares. You're selling just the drill and not the result. You need to figure out what it is that you provide into the marketplace, and you need to understand that people generally make decisions based on one or two different things. They're always trying to avoid pain. People want to avoid things that cause pain. The other thing is they want to drive towards things that give them pleasure. Now, you and I, we sell insurance. That's not exactly pleasurable. You're not selling timeshares in the Bahamas. You're not selling getaway vacations. You're not selling cars. You're not selling houses. You sell insurance. So you need to think about the other platform, the other pillar of why it is that people make decisions, and that is to avoid pain. Bottom line, you need to find real solutions to people, and those solutions, they have to be interesting. They have to be desirable, but more than anything, they have to be believable. If you just come out there and talk about a lot of pie in the sky or results that people don't connect with or they don't feel like is believable, then you're not gonna get the traction that you want. So make sure your compelling offer, your story, your value proposition is not only interesting, it's not only desirable, but people can believe it. They believe that they can attain the same result. If you have any more questions about how to make sure that your advertising is gonna work on Facebook or Google, then comment down below. I'd love to engage with you individually, figure out the solutions that are gonna work for you, and help you understand how to have a digital marketing strategy that's gonna get results. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that like button, and we'll see you again on the next video.